You are busy every day, running, working, chasing. But at the end of the day, do you feel fulfilled? Or do you feel like something important is missing? Today, I will tell you a story about a professor and a jar. A story that will change how you spend your time. Listen carefully. This might save your life. One day, a professor stood before his philosophy class. On the table in front of him sat an empty glass jar, large and clear. The students watched curiously. Beside the jar were several items: large rocks, small pebbles, sand, and a cup of coffee. The students had no idea what the professor was planning. Without saying a word, the professor picked up the large rocks. One by one, he placed them into the jar. He filled it until no more rocks could fit. He looked at his students and asked, "Is this jar full?" The students looked at the jar. It was filled with rocks. They all nodded and said, "Yes, it is full." The professor smiled. He picked up the small pebbles and poured them into the jar. The pebbles rolled down and filled the gaps between the large rocks. Again, he asked, "Is the jar full now?" The students laughed. They had been tricked once, but now surely it was full. They said, "Yes, now it is full." The professor smiled again. He picked up the container of sand. Slowly, he poured the sand into the jar. The sand filled every tiny space between the pebbles. Once more he asked, "Is the jar full?" The students were unsure now. They hesitated, then quietly said, "Maybe. We think so. Yes, it must be full now." The professor laughed softly. He picked up the cup of coffee and poured it into the jar. The liquid disappeared into the sand. The jar absorbed every drop. The students laughed. They understood now. No matter how full the jar seemed, there was always room for more. But the lesson was much deeper than that. The professor said, "This jar represents your life, and these items represent everything that fills your life. Let me explain what each one means." He held up a large rock. These rocks are the most important things in your life: your health, your family, your closest relationships, your true purpose. He continued, "If everything else was lost and only these remained, your life would still be full and meaningful. These are your priorities, your foundation." He picked up the pebbles. These pebbles are the other things that matter: your job, your house, your car, your achievements. Important, but not essential. He picked up the sand. And the sand represents the small stuff: social media, gossip, television, worries about things that do not matter, time wasters. The professor paused and looked at his students seriously. He said, "Now, here is the most important part of this lesson. The order matters. It matters greatly." He said, "If you put the sand in first, there is no room for the pebbles or the rocks. If you fill your life with small things first, there is no room for what matters." He continued, "But if you put the big rocks in first, then the pebbles, then the sand, everything fits. Your life has space for all of it in the right balance." The students sat in silence. They understood. Most of them had been putting sand in their jars first, filling their lives with things that did not truly matter. One student raised her hand and asked, "Professor, what does the coffee represent?" The whole class leaned in. They had forgotten about the coffee. The professor smiled warmly. He said, "The coffee represents this. No matter how full your life is, there is always room to have coffee with a friend." The class laughed, but the message was clear. Connection matters. Friendship matters. Never be too busy for the people who love you. This is the lesson of the jar. You have limited space in your life, limited time, limited energy. How you fill it determines how meaningful your life becomes. Most people fill their lives with sand, endless scrolling, pointless arguments, chasing things that do not matter. Then they wonder why they feel empty. Put the big rocks in first: your health, your family, your purpose, your peace. Make time for these before anything else. They are your foundation. Then add the pebbles: your work, your goals, your responsibilities. These matter too, but they should never replace your big rocks. Let the sand fill whatever space remains. Small things can have a place, but they should never come first. They should never crowd out what truly matters. And always leave room for coffee, for laughter, for connection, for the moments that make life beautiful. Never be too busy to live. Ask yourself right now, what are the big rocks in your life? Are you putting them first? Or are you drowning in sand while your rocks sit outside the jar? Your life is the jar. Fill it wisely. Put first things first, because the sand will always find space. But the rocks need to go in first, or they never will.